Hey kids, Straight Talkin Fedora Chic coming at you this afternoon, and welcome to the channel. Please subscribe and hit the ringy dingy icon below so you can be notified every time I upload. Now let's get on with this video, shall we, boys and girls? This could be a long one, and today's video is more of a personal nature, story time if you will. From mental health to social commentary channel, or maybe I should say variety. My YouTube journey to date. So let's get into this, shall we, boys and girls? I felt prompted to do this video for some time, but kept changing my mind. But events on Twitter and YouTube as of late have changed. I changed my mind. I would have preferred to do this further down the road when this channel got a little bigger and I got more views. But be that as it may, today is the day it appears. No tea spilling. I don't really do that. But today is root beer float day. Yeah. Had a craving for one lately. With vegan ice cream, coconut milk, vanilla ice cream. Remember having those in my childhood at Dairy Queen. It was my favorite thing to order. So yeah, we can call it regression if we will. Ah, tasty. Tasty. And I have to say, so anyways, back to the business at hand. The divisiveness of the mental health community on YouTube as of late has definitely confirmed that I have steered my channel on the right track. Today, I honestly believe this channel is on solid footing as a social commentary / vlogging storytime channel. Probably more so than if I had remained a mental health channel. Anybody who remembers when I did start uploading with a rather rudimentary editing skills, I might add, had to teach myself. I'm not really good at self-teaching. As a dyslexic, it is problematic. Anyways, this is way back in the late winter, spring 2018. You would know that I had pretty much branded this channel as a mental health awareness channel under the name of Fedora Hippies. I was originally supposed to start this channel with a friend of mine who ended up having to back out due to other commitments. So yeah, and I did want to do this kind of channel for a long time. Mental health awareness channel that was different from mental health awareness publicity campaigns where celebrities were utilized and showcased. All fine and dandy, but not really relatable to someone who is not as rich and famous. And this was where I would come in from my own tiny little corner of the intertubes. A plain Jane who is not rich and famous, who struggles through life daily. I figured that despite my dark sense of humor at times, as well as my contrarian nature, I could contribute something. And if I do say so myself, I was relatable. I am relatable. At least more so than rich and famous celebrities. The beautiful people. I suddenly found the time when I had officially stopped DJing for 2 years, online live streaming radio shows after a falling out with the producer, which I won't get into that here. Yes, kids, I was a DJ. I DJ'd an oldie show and a blues show for that particular radio site. And yeah, it was a fun run, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it, but I don't miss the drama that went with it. Let's put it that way. And really, it was hiking up my blood pressure. And it was, so as such, it was losing its allure, at least with that particular site. And it was time to move on, and that's how Fedora Hippies came about, going from radio to a YouTube channel. I even thought about going back into political blogging, but as a vlog, and did upload a video to a channel called Cranky Gen Xer. It's the only video. I ignored it ever since and decided, no, vlogging politics was not for me, but I might, podcast might work, doing a talk show podcast But I'm nowhere near setting up that kind of project that quite yet. So I content myself with being a muckraker, commenting on politics on social media. Anyways, I digress. Oh, I knew so little. Again, like I said, I had no idea how to edit videos. As mentioned, my editing skills were quite primitive. Still learning how to use iMovie. I had even less idea about how the YouTube algorithm worked. Still a huge learning curve for me, kids. I also came onto the scene after Apocalypse. So I was really blind going into this. I did get overwhelmed and frustrated way too often. I think it was partly what led me to abandon the channel after only a month or so of uploading videos. I also knew that given the competitive nature of YouTube, I had to have a shtick of some kind, something visual. That was the easy part because this is where I could still remain true to myself. I have an extensive hat collection, and it does border on unhealthy. Really, but collecting hats is what I do. I walk through every day of my life on Montreal streets wearing hats as well. Been sporting the fedora since I was 15, much to the chagrin of my parents and teachers at school. There was a reason for that, but I won't get into it in this video today. But I think I will do a video about how I got started into wearing hats at the age of 15, somewhere down the road. Yes, suffice to say the hats also met opposition with my individual therapist, Ilana Chronic. Yes, I drop her name because she deserves to be outed. Terrible woman she was. So I would wear a hat to do the videos. And as you see, I still do to this day. Why the hell not? They are more than a shtick, as I mentioned. They are a part of who I am, at least visually. It's my personal style. I went on to build Fedora Hippies on my own, but then life intervened somehow. I noticed my channel hadn't grown at all in a month. Other than a few friends I knew in person, I didn't really have any subscribers. Very little views, with the exception of the second video I had uploaded, which was a response to that blonde bubblehead Nicole Arbor and her video, Depression is All in Your Head. A very ignorant set of brain farts. It was that time of Nicole's Depression All in Your Head I had found the Rewired Souls channel. I saw his response to that very same Nicole Arbor video. And yes, it did deserve the shakedown it got. It was almost as hideous as her Dear Fat People video from a few years back. Chris at the time did a great response video to her showing off her ignorance. This, of course, was when he had just over 1,000 subs and he was discussing mainly his own experiences with mental illness and recovery and as a recovering addict. I found him engaging and intelligent back then, so I subscribed. I found a kindred spirits of sorts in the mental health community. I was impressed with him at the time. So I shared with his channel even with friends of mine who in turn liked what he had to say. At that time, being the operative phrase here. Another thing I liked about Chris back then, as mentioned, he was a recovering addict. I had been 20 years straight. Yes, boys and girls, I prefer that term over sober in my case, because sober I associate with alcoholism as opposed to drunk. So I was never an alcoholic. I was raised by alcoholics, but never was one. My poisons of choice were speed and cocaine to put up my nose. So I prefer to use the word straight in that context anyway. I also remember him saying in his response to Arbor that she basically knew nothing as to what she was talking about. Well, wasn't that the truth? No, she didn't. Unfortunately, as we found out later, fast forward a year, neither does Mr. Chris Boutte, now does he? But, yeah, just another bubble-headed moment for her to make trouble, just as she had with her Dear Fat People video. Yep. Like I said, the irony as Chris Boutte himself passes misinformation. It is largely why he irks me today, and I am no longer subscribed to his channel. But back in that day, like I said, I was finding kindred spirits in his comment section. I'm not really going to dwell too much on what Chris Butte, aka the Rewire Soul, is today in this video. I've done plenty of videos about him, and you can go find them on my channel if you're interested. I think I've said more than enough on him in those videos, although you never know. If there is more to say, I'll do another minute video on him if I must. Oh, I had many ideas for videos in my channel. I wanted to show that I and other people like myself are not the monsters many think to this day that we are, those of us who suffer from mental health issues, that is. I want to show who I really was, because still feel today, people really don't want to get to know me, really. They have their preset views of me, that it's a narrative they want to maintain, or they just don't simply care to know somebody who is kind of off the beaten path, such as yours truly. Oh, the ice cream melted. Oh, God. So no tea spilling today, but my coconut ice cream has melted. Oh, well. Anybody who has ever followed me from last year, from the Fedora Hippie days, as well as my stint as a political blogger over at Sister Sage's Musings, would know that I was and still am notorious for being a contrarian. Somebody who plays devil's advocate. Because frankly, somebody has to, whether it's discussing politics or social issues of the day. And, boys and girls, I am quite proficient at it. Hey, everybody's got to be good at something, right? Plus, my father, who was a high school history, English, and economics teacher, taught me how to think critically. If there was one thing he did correctly with my upbringing, as he taught his students, he taught my brother and I how to read newspapers differently, with different opinion pieces and editorials. Find out who the author was. What's their angle? More to the point, find the bias. He was an old contrarian himself. I think that's where I picked it up. Anyway, frustrated with the lack of growth of my channel, had me questioning whether I should go on, and perhaps YouTube was just not for me. Oh, I was really on the fence. Then something terrible happened. Yeah, intervention, they can call it. A divine intervention of sorts. My front upper teeth started breaking. The first break directly on an upper front tooth was what precipitated my departure from YouTube. I'd always had dental issues and always a lack of enamel on my teeth since the age of 14, despite having brushed regularly. I had spent a lot of money doing all to save my upper front teeth. After all, those are the teeth most prominent when we smile or make facial expressions, right? I was broke, had no money to fix this problem at all, and no insurance. Yes, even here in Canada, one should, in an ideal world, have private insurance to cover what our Medicare system does. I also ration with the dental industry here and how greedy it tends to be. So I did those videos. But I did stop uploading after that because I finally found a dental clinic at a local hospital to take care of me. And my mother came through with the money mercifully. Greatly appreciated. It was greatly appreciated, let me tell you. It was a relief. It was at that time I learned the devastating news that I would have to have those teeth removed. And I did get second and third opinions before going forward. That is radical. Recovery would be long given my health issues, not just the physical. And kids, let me tell you that getting your front teeth removed takes longer to recover from than getting molars removed. Because the first thing everybody looks at is your smile and our teeth, or everybody pays attention to the teeth, to the grill up there. So I was losing those. So that was an emotional roller coaster for me, to say the least. I won't really go into further detail in this video except to say that it sealed my decision to abandon Fedora Hippies once and for all. Over the months ahead following my recovery, I did entertain returning to YouTube Figured I would do that once I would adjust to a denture, but hell, it's been almost a year and I'm still not adjusted to it. Go figure. Never did. That is until just after we rang in 2019. I had so much to say, still do. A lot of shit had gone down in my life. Let's just say that while 2019 came in with a bang, I was ringing in the new year with my best friend from out of town at the time. But things went downhill very quickly. I found that people talked over me and I was getting sick of it. Even when they asked me a question and I would try to answer it, they would still talk over me. So why ask me the question in the first place if you're going to talk over me? So I figured YouTube videos would be a great medium for me to speak uninterrupted and then engage in a civilized conversation. I also did not want to box myself into the niche of mental health anymore. I found it too restricting for me, and I figured in changing the direction of this channel, I can still bring awareness through some of my vlogging and story time content. I mean, what good is trying to bring awareness if I don't get any views, right? If no one is there to listen. I had also learned that the YouTube algorithm did not and still does not favor mental health channels to this day. Hence, why I get some of the mental channels change tack. Hell, even Dr. Todd Grande, a licensed therapist, is using pop culture to bring his points across more often than not. I also, of course, changed the name of the channel. I figured new direction, new year. I now wear glasses. My hair is no longer dark red. Let's change the name. So although I have left up most of the old videos from last year, from the Fedora Hippie days, I decided to effectively put Fedora Hippies to rest once and for all and started, well, let's just say Straight Talkin Fedora Chic was born. More apt, because no matter what I talk about, I always give it straight, boys and girls. I also wanted to focus much on what I am about. Who is CK, aka Straight Talkin Fedora Chic? She's gotta be more than a hat-wearing smartass who chain smokes, right? Smartass, right? Who wears X-Men glasses? Too many mental health issues. I have written shorts and a play, but not published. I am left-leaning politically. I have been a vegetarian for over 25 years before a second attempt at going vegan over a year ago, and still vegan to this day. I am a fat acceptance activist because, frankly, I am sick of people, particularly women, being shunned and ostracized and defined by their waistline. Here's a clue, boys and girls. Surprise! We's human too. We's good people. I have a few social media nemesis who I take on and will continue to take on. But that's another video for another time. This video is already getting pretty long. I'm going to lose my voice soon. My YouTube comeback hit just in time for the Rewired Soul fallout last February, early in the new year. Through that, I had found other mental health channels, some very good ones too that I subscribed to. For better or worse, this included Bipolar Corner, Driven Industries, and Leafy Greens. I am not going to get into any more detail about that right now. Leaf is long gone, and I hope she has a smooth delivery and a healthy baby. Others from the recovery addiction community, channels like Real Talk Recovery with Nicole, or According to Jexy, who holds a live stream trivia night on Wednesdays, kids, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you trivia buffs who can't get to the local pub to play trivia, this could be a next option. I digress. As well as Jason from House of Four Walls, I believe he's called. Yeah, they were great discoveries. Some of whom are subscribed to this channel. I do react videos, as you will see in my channel, but only if I have strong feelings about what someone is saying, or if I must refute misinformation or call out bad behavior. I don't really do the drama thing, hence why I consider myself more social commentary than drama. Though I am conscious of the fact that the line between commentary and drama can be blurred. Have I blurred these lines at times? The short answer, probably. There are drama channels too that I do enjoy. Nosy Housefrau is my latest discovery and one of my newest subscribers here. Thank you. And yes, kids, boys and girls, I also enjoy Peter Mon's channels. I don't always like what he does with his main channel, which is, of course, drama. But gotta admit, I like that fan snapping thing. Would love to learn it. But I like his vlogging channel best. On many levels, I can relate to him. Sometimes he says and does things that leave a lasting impression. At least in my world. There are others I follow, like James over at The Right Opinion or Petty Page. Again, I'm not really going to talk about them right now. I will be doing a video down the road when I have more viewers on my favorite and least favorite YouTubers and why. I think this could be a fun video to do, and it might be another way to get to know yours truly. So here we are today. Now, what is more like a variety channel? Something the YouTube gurus, tech guys like Roberto Blake and Sean Cannell of Think Media, seem to advise against. It's probably why my channel isn't growing as fast as I would like it. I do take heed. I did want to add the vegan stuff like cooking and product reviews to this channel, but decided against it. And probably a better idea. Totally different audience. So I started a second channel. STFC Kitchen Mishaps, my vegan channel, which is still in its infancy. It's even smaller than this channel. Product and restaurant reviews, some cooking, some vegan commentary. Even started a Sunday morning series just last week. Food and drink myths debunked and busted. Everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask. I upload those to STFC Kitchen Mishaps every Sunday morning between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check out that channel if you're interested, or tell anyone you know who might be interested in that sort of thing. Link is in the info card above. I have a lot of videos I am currently editing and including 2 cooking shows with friends down the pipe. Hoping to catch up on that by next week. All videos with a good dose of humor. A primitive setup as far as my cooking shows. I am presently kitchen surfing, if you will. But I think that keeps things more interesting. Obviously not a permanent solution, but for the time being, it's fine. I wasn't planning to do this video so soon and had planned on waiting till my channel grew and got more views. But again, in the light of the division of the mental health community, I was just thinking to myself, I am glad that I redirected my channel the way I did. And I think I am on the right track, and I try to go about it as honestly as I can, despite not sticking to some narrow scope as the YouTube gurus seem to advise. My editing skills are still primitive, but they have improved. My system is rudimentary, an ancient iMac with a webcam, sometimes cell phone cam. In fact, recently I shot a cooking show entirely with a cell phone even. That's how primitive things are. I will have a better backdrop here for this channel, as well as better lighting sometime next month. Yay, good news. I will no longer look jaundiced. Ice cream all melted. We will no longer be seeing my ex-partner's mother's old couch anymore, and we'll be investing in photography lamps and a new backdrop where I can shoot videos day or night in this old living room. So what is down the pipe for this channel in the months to come? Well, I have another react video to none other than Mr. Every Damn Day Fitness, Alan Roberts for one. I think his week was ruined because of finding a plus-size model on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I believe it was, as well as Tess Holliday's UK Cosmo cover photo being considered for cover of the year. Make no mistake, boys and girls, I'm not really a fan of Tess Holliday, and it has nothing to do with her size. I just think she has some very shady business practices. But her being on the cover of a magazine in a bathing suit in and of itself isn't one of my issues with her. I say more power to her. I also plan to do some essay type vlogs, a type with research, kind of like what Mike the Vegan does for the vegan community, only dealing with mental health and other social issues like mental illness and discrimination on the workforce and such. Stats and data to go along, probably sometime next month. Also, maybe some more bad poetry reading live streams from my alter ego, Sheeza F. Ucker, on live stream just to blow off steam. Hey, that rhymed. That rhymed, boys and girls. Who knew? I'm a poet and don't even know it. Oh, God, to admit, it is hard to see through those glasses. Feels like I'm looking in one of those old photography dark rooms before the days of Photoshop. And those glasses are not prescription. Go figure. I wouldn't mind doing a collab with somebody on either of my channels. I have done collabs mostly on STFC's Kitchen Mishaps. There are some here too, just look on my channel. Collabs with friends and acquaintances, not other YouTubers. I tend to have more fun with collab vids, actually. If anyone is interested in collabing with me, please let me know. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I know this channel will do nothing to increase your viewership. I admit I do need to increase my viewership, and that's one reason. But it's not the entire reason. Like I said, I find collab videos to be fun. Also, I want to get into some of that sit-down comedy. Maybe do some parodies. But it's possible I may start another separate channel, a third channel for that kind of content. Even though this channel is more variety, I don't think too much variety in one channel is a good thing. I will agree with the YouTube gurus on that. Guru, for lack of a better term, tech guys. If I am trying to grow that, I will keep you posted. That won't be for a while now. I'm already behind on STFC Kitchen Mishaps. I need to grow both of these existing channels before I can even consider starting a third one. Again, I call to you, boys and girls, to give me some topic suggestions for this channel. Please put them in the comments section or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. My handles for both platforms are in the description box. I do plan to start a Facebook page to go with this channel. I don't think this channel is all that appropriate to be shared to my personal Facebook page because that's mostly my political rantings. Yeah. That should be up by next week, I hope. I will keep you posted. That's about going to do it here, finally. Yes, and the ice cream, it's looking more like a mochaccino now, the root beer float. So instead of a tea spill, it's an ice cream float. Root beer float melt. That could be a new, hey, that could be a new YouTube term. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, or thumbs down if you don't. Please subscribe, hit the ringy-dingy icon below so that you can be notified every time I upload. Again, please go check out my second channel, STFC Kitchen Mishaps. Even if you aren't vegan and are just curious, everybody is welcome. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Straight Talkin Fedora Chic over and out. Now get off my lawn.